Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the comedy extravaganza that is The Adventures of E. Strap yourselves in because in this podcast we dive into hilarious personal stories, mishaps, and everyday life. From the awkward encounters at the grocery store to trying to adult in a world that seems determined to trip us up at every turn. So whether you're listening during your commute or just kicking back with a cup of coffee, get ready to laugh until your sides hurt. Here's your host, Elissa.
Well, hello, friends. Thanks for coming back.
Hello.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
It's me, Elissa, and
Jason.
my trusty sidekick.
And husband.
Well, yeah, I felt like that was just all-encompassing.
And producer.
All the things, okay?
Manager.
Let's not get...
Talent manager, you know.
Notes? You write my notes?
Please.
So anyway, sorry, I have the sniffles. Just a heads up.
Why do you have the sniffles?
I don't know how to nosebleed. Wicked nosebleed earlier.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, shit, I didn't know. Like, maybe you were rummaging around in something, got your nose caught in something, you know. Hit your face on something.
Yeah, I was sniffing my way out of a paper bag, and I...
Yeah. Cocaine for the win. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. We really went... Ooh. Anyway, so today feels a little weird.
Why does it feel a little weird?
Because it's not been just us for a long time.
Yeah, the last couple of episodes have been lengthy, and they have been fun. They've also been
long-winded.
And they've been a lot of work. And it's been very much so worth it. And we appreciate everyone that is like a new subscriber and people that have been watching the videos. Clearly, the podcast is just, it revolves around Tom. I mean, it clearly revolves around Tom because that is where we get the absolute most views, period.
I absolutely refuse to not be the main character in my own podcast. I'm just going to say that.
Oh, you were definitely the main character.
Oh, okay.
But he's got very strong sidekick, like comedic relief energy. Yeah.
He gives those vibes.
Yeah. And I think, you know, people tune in for his like ridiculousness and just how crazy is he going to get this time?
It's always something new, ain't it?
Yeah. Like we go crazy, but he takes it to a whole nother level.
Takes it to the next level. Anyway, we kind of wanted to come back, just the two of us, and it's weird we're in the podcast room.
I know.
I feel like we haven't been up here in forever.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I mean, 2 episodes ago, last time we were up here, we had Tom and Jeremiah, the non-favorite child over here.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, it just feels a little weird, but I like it.
Yeah, it's nice to just kind of do a little bit of a reset and, you know, kind of come back to just you and me and where it really all started.
Yeah, pivot. Now, I kind of wanted to talk about this, some things that have been going on. I want to talk about mental health.
Yeah.
I feel like we're coming, like Indiana weather, we're coming into summer. All that seasonal depression is starting to lift. We can all see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
And we're so close.
So close.
Yet just not quite there.
So close.
So anyway, my mental health has taken a nosedive, personally.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like that's kind of been a little evident.
I mean, do you feel like it's that way because we haven't really gotten into more of the summer, gotten out of the seasonal kind of depression stage, or why do you feel that is?
I definitely think like that's definitely like a tick mark in the whole situation for sure.
Yeah.
I also think, you know, being a nurse through COVID and stuff, we heard about burnout and it was a thing. And I could feel that to a certain extent, but now I feel like I truly know what burnout is as a nurse. And so that's taken a really big toll on my mental health for sure.
Yeah.
And just trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up.
You still haven't figured that out?
No. I don't know if I ever will, honestly.
You know, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if you think about it, you know, it keeps you mentally young for an extended period of time.
I don't feel mentally young either.
I know, but it really keeps you, you're not afraid to try new things. You're not afraid to do new things. I mean, yeah, it can be a little scary sometimes for the change and routine or whatever it might be, but I feel like you're very much, ooh, I want to try this. Ooh, I want to try that. And that's not a bad thing. Like, cause I'm bad about that. Like I'm like very set in my ways about certain things and, you know, having like routines and stuff like that. And I've tried to get better as years have gone on about
And
like
you have.
if routines get broken, you know, oh my God, it's going to screw up my whole day, that kind of thing.
Man, yeah, it was bad.
Like years ago, yeah, the OCD about
So
that used to
bad.
be horrible. But I've tried to really be much better about pivoting and just, you know, it is what it is kind of mindset. And you've helped me with that because of that mindset that you have where you're very much try anything, do anything, like
Right.
like let's experience new stuff.
And I appreciate that. I just feel like I feel the burnout. It's real in my soul.
It's real.
I need to figure out something else.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, me personally, I can't go on much longer like this.
Yeah.
And feel this way. Like, it just won't.
And do you think it's just primarily, you know, because you've been like a bedside nurse for so long?
I feel like that's a huge part of it. It really is. And I feel like COVID, and I think I've said this before, I feel like COVID really changed nursing for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
As in, I don't know why patients across the board suddenly, like, this is the Hilton.
Yeah.
And we are there to make every one of your whims come true. That's how it feels, though.
Yeah.
I was doing patient care the other day, and I leaned over my patient to flush their IV,
Mm-hmm.
and they whispered in my ear just so sweetly, "You're a bitch."
Yeah.
I literally had nothing to say.
Like, what do you say to that?
I looked at that patient and I said, "Okay, then," and I turned around and walked right out.
Yeah. And see, like, I'm the asshole that would be like, oh, let me squeeze your IV bag,
Nah,
you know?
I'm not going to do that. That's not quite how it works anyway, but
No, I'm just saying, like, that extra pressure in the vein.
yeah, but you can't squeeze it. It goes through a pump. The pump's regulated. It's a whole thing.
Oh, that's right. It's
We wouldn't
not
do
all
that.
old school
We
where it's a
wouldn't
direct
do-
bag drip. Oh.
We wouldn't do that anyway, but like, I'm just like that. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. And she go.
And we've talked about this a little bit. Like, people just generally suck a lot more lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's the political climate. I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know if it's everything that's going on. Like, maybe it's a combination of all the bullshit everywhere, you know, rising prices and the stock market and blah, 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 blah. Like, at the end of the day, like, we all have struggles. We all have trials and tribulations. And it's like, chill the fuck out, people. Like, let's just all be cool.
I wish.
Right. Like, I don't understand. Like, yeah, I get frustrated at things. And yeah, sometimes we get hit with negative things and it sucks. But like, we try really hard not to take that out on other people.
Yeah.
You know, and it seems like everybody out there just wants to fucking take it out on everybody else.
I feel like those are the normal people. Like, they get it.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the population doesn't get it.
No, they definitely don't get it.
But, sorry, I had to readjust there.
Pivot.
Pivot.
Yeah.
No, I can definitely tell my mental health's been out of whack, though, lately. My sleep shopping has gotten out of control.
Yeah. You've started that up again. Thankfully, it's not been anything like exorbitant or like crazy expensive or anything like that. So we've been lucky there.
It's been interesting.
Yes, it has definitely been interesting. Some of the things you've purchased. Have you seen my wiener? Yeah.
So I'm not an avid Five Below shopper.
Yeah.
It's nothing against it. It's just not somewhere like I think to go.
Yeah. And you posted about this the other day. Yep.
But I didn't tell where it was from. I don't think.
No, you did.
Maybe
You
I
did.
did in the
Yeah.
comments. I don't know. Anyway, I did not know that you could buy clothing there, let alone buy clothing online,
Yeah.
until I got a package the other day from them.
Yeah. And we've somehow randomly like we've discovered it, created an online shopping account, added a credit or debit card. I'm not sure which. It doesn't really matter.
I don't even know. I didn't look.
But we've done all this while sleeping and then gone through and picked out items.
Yeah. I picked out some interesting things.
Yeah.
One was this shirt. It says Silly Goose on the Loose.
Yeah, which I like that. That's cute.
Well, that's my badge reel at work. Like, that's what I've become known as, which we'll get there. Excuse me. One was a mallard duck on the, like, top pocket area. And it says, mostly harmless.
Yeah.
One had a raccoon. It says, stay trashy.
Yeah, I like it.
And then the last one had a hot dog on it.
A dot dog?
A dot dog.
We're bringing back Elissa's word of the podcast. Dot
Dot
dog.
dog.
Dot dog.
Had a hot dog on it, and it said, I'm just here for the wieners.
Just here for the wieners, yeah.
I guess that's what I'm going to wear for 4th of July, and I just happened to buy a pair of shorts that are yellow and white stripes, so it looks like mustard.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Like, I wasn't even aware of this. Like, we're finding this out on the podcast as we go.
I'm going to look like a hot dog.
Hot dog!
Hot dog! So, yeah. And so now it's also progressed. I've been buying my coworkers things in my sleep.
Oh, really? That I wasn't aware of. This is news to me.
A couple of badge reels that had geese on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
So you're trying to, like, create the Silly Goose Brigade or something?
Apparently.
Okay.
I found this thing. It said goosebumps. And they were bumping fists.
Yeah. If only they had fists.
Well, they kind of do.
So they were bumping wings?
Bumping wings.
Bumping wings.
Wings and bump. That did not sound right
Dot
at all.
dogs and bumping wings.
Bumping wings. Man, that sounds real dirty right about now.
Oh, my God. The titles are just coming out of the woodwork. I'm telling you.
Bumping wings.
I've got so many things to pick from.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I like to just give you options.
Yeah. The randomness
Yes.
of it all.
Of it all.
But we love it.
So what's been going on in your life?
Just work.
We live a very exciting life, don't we?
I know. And finally, we have moved on to stage 3 of the deck. So I finally started building that.
It's been so much fun.
Yeah. Well, for you, yeah, especially you get to sit back and watch for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of manual labor.
No.
Noon.
No.
But you and I had a discussion the other day, and you said that you wanted to learn how to start building certain things and doing certain things. So I think that it only pertinent that and fitting that when we start building out the garden area, I can show you how to build the raised planter boxes.
Right. Where are you going with this?
No, nowhere.
Okay.
I was being legitimate.
I thought you were going to talk about my incident, and so I kind of panicked.
Which incident? There's so many.
The one that happened today with my finger.
Oh, no. Let's talk about that, though, since you brought it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did that to myself.
Yep, sure did.
Bought the super cute planter. Did not have a drainage hole. Watched a TikTok video
Fucking TikTok, I swear.
that said if you like put it underwater and then tapped a nail into the bottom, it would. Yeah, I shattered the hole at bottom, and my hand went through it.
Yeah.
But I fixed it, so I was able to use it. It all worked out.
I'm curious, how did you fix it?
You know, I don't think that you and everybody listening is ready to hear
how'd
how
you
my
fix it?
brain works.
Because I didn't think about that earlier. You told me that you fixed it. I thought you just chipped a bigger hole in it than what you want.
No, the whole bottom's gone.
And that's what I'm saying. So what did you do to fix said bottom of headless pot?
I had a plastic pot with drainage holes, a mini one from an orchid that fit right down in the hole.
Oh.
So it plugged it.
Okay.
Fixed it.
But did we seal the gaps around it or no?
No, because then it drains, but it's on a tray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got this, man.
I'm just double checking.
Back off.
Jesus
Jesus.
Christ.
Jesus.
But yeah. And what was my immediate response to you?
Elissa, there are special drill bits for that I have. Don't do that.
Yeah.
That was my Jason impression. How was that?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It was close. Yeah.
I feel like it was pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's more along the lines of, honey, I have drill bits for that.
No, you were a little bit more stern about it.
Well, because you hurt yourself. And I don't like it when you have these projects that randomly hurt you, you know, like the cooter clapper when you were changing curtains and standing on top of a stool, you know, or the time that you fell off a ladder and almost drilled a hole in your leg.
Speaking of the cooter clapper, wow. That is not the segue I anticipated there, but
You're
here we
welcome.
are.
Yeah.
So, had to make the hour drive to go pick up somebody's prescriptions who mismanaged my time. But we'll get on that another day because we're not going to talk about that. So, I decided, listen, as a big girl, when you wear new underwear, you take a really big risk, okay? You take a big risk that they're not going to fit you right. They're going to cut you off at one of the biscuit entry points, which we all know where those are at.
Did you just say biscuit entry points?
I did. I don't need to explain it to you. So anyway, I took a risk.
Brings new meaning to B's and G's.
Be
Little biscuits and
bacon and eggs.
Nope. Biscuits with a little bit of gravy.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I took it there.
I'm starting out my hour venture. Well, my 2 hour, both ways. Like one, wow. Okay, break that down for me.
2 hour round trip, Gilligan's Island style.
Thank you.
Yep, you're
on
welcome.
A 2 hour tour.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm going down the road. The fucking underwear cutting the circulation off at my leg. Okay? So, like any self-respecting woman, I grab the leg hole of said underwear and I pull because, like, I got to get me some room. Like, it hurts. Mm-hmm. And I hear whoosh. And I have a sensation that I don't know that I've ever felt before in my life. So, I had to stick my hand. This sounds worse and worse as we go along.
Did you all of a sudden realize you had a breeze?
No, there was no breeze.
Oh.
Like, I reached down because I was like, what the fuck is going on? I fucking ripped the leg hole all the way over halfway between my meat curtains. So half of me was raw dogging it on the jeans. And I had to drive there and back like that.
Yeah, that sounds so uncomfortable.
It was terrible.
So I guess my question is, like, when it comes to underwear, like, as soon as you put on said underwear, like, did it not feel too tight for you or uncomfortable?
No, they weren't uncomfortable. They didn't feel too tight. Here's the thing. You just never know the give strength until you're sitting down.
The stretchiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
So, the double stitching really hinders the strength, the give of said fabric.
Makes it very firm.
Yeah, so then I ripped the crotch out.
Gotcha.
What are you going to do,
Rip the other half?
I didn't.
Yeah.
But I brought them home. That didn't come out. I wore them home. When I got home, I changed them, but I kept them because I have to show you and Mom.
Maybe we'll take a picture of it and post them.
No, we're not going to do that.
I think that would be funny.
We won't be doing that,
I think that would be funny.
Nope, and nope.
We can talk about our child Fruit Looping someone in a fucking public library, but we can't take a picture of ripped underwear?
Nope.
Ay.
Nope.
All right.
All right.
Well, moving along.
Just moving right along.
Yeah. What else would you like to talk about?
I don't know. I feel like I had 1,000,001 things coming to the table, which you saw my list. I had a list.
Yeah.
But I feel like...
You've just lost the list.
Not lost the list, but I feel like I knocked a bunch out right together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a grouping.
Yeah, a grouping. I know one thing that you had made mention of was like the weight loss journey and those types of things.
Oh, yeah.
Just some of the new things you've been doing and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
You all right there?
I don't know what that was about.
I don't know.
I mean, it's no big secret that I have been on a weight loss journey probably my whole entire fucking life, honestly. But more importantly, the last few years, I had the lap band, which we've talked about very openly on the podcast, and about how terrible of a decision it was. Obviously, I didn't know that when I made it, or I wouldn't have made it. But anyway, just dealing with that. So I decided to jump on the bandwagon and do a GLP-1. It was only after my mom had been on it, and I saw how well she did. She lost 16 pounds, I want to say, in like a month and a half, which as somebody who's heavier, obviously that's going to fall off a lot at first. But don't get me wrong, like that's a really nice motivator to keep going. So anyway, I saw how great she was doing with it. Obviously, you're on a different medication because you are a diabetic.
Right.
And I've seen the difference it's made with you and your relationship with food. And I've watched that start to happening with my mom.
Yeah.
And then I've, said for years, I don't know how to explain it, but like the food noise, I'd never known what that was called, but I've dealt with that my whole life.
Right.
So anyway, like I said, I saw how well you guys were all doing with it, so I decided to try it as well. And it's really been interesting. As dumb as it sounds, it's really changed. It's helped my mental health in a way, but it's definitely taken a mental toll because it really does fuck with your entire relationship with food. Not in a bad way, but like in a way that's so hard, so hot, so heavy, so fast that you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Well, and like I was always like you could bake or like we'd have sweets in the house and stuff like that. And I'd eat that stuff 24/7.
It was nothing for you to sit down, let's be honest, and eat like 2 whole rows of Oreos with milk.
Yeah, out of like the big family pack size.
In one setting.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh, yep, that was good.
And it's not like you were super overweight, like by any stretch of the imagination. Like to look at you, you'd never be like, oh, he's diabetic.
But like going from that to I eat for maintenance. I eat because I have to. Like, because if I don't, like, I drop out to the point where, like, I just pass out. Like, because I'm just exhausted because I have nothing in my body.
Which is what's weird to me. Because I've always, unfortunately, as sad as it is to say, I lived to eat. Oh, I lived to eat. I couldn't wait. I mean, obviously, we've talked about that. Food was my best friend. It's always been my best friend.
Right.
But now, like today, I was running errands and having to do stuff and make multiple stops. And I was like, hadn't ate since last night. And I didn't eat a whole lot last night as it was. Like, I ate a really decent dinner, but it wasn't a lot.
Yeah, good proteins and some other stuff,
So I was like, I was already hungry. And here it was like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, something like that. And I'm like, okay, I know I am hungry. I know I need to eat. Here's the problem. Not a damn thing sounds good.
Nope.
Which is a new fuckery in my mind of a situation that I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
And that sounds so dumb. Like, to hear it on the other side, I'm like, if I would have heard that, I would have been like, what the fuck are these people talking about?
Yeah, no, but like when I had the transition from like enjoying food to just eating for maintenance, like I found like there were 5, 6, 7, 8 things that I enjoyed or I would tolerate. Like I could eat continuously and it didn't fuck with my body. I didn't feel like shit. B, it tasted okay to me. And I didn't get burnt out on it, you know? So it's like, I can eat all that stuff consistently. And I have like those things that I eat the same all the time.
Well, see,
like nothing changes.
I did up till this point because, and don't judge me, an Uncrustable for me is a really good, like, take to work, eat it at some point, get in, get out, whatever.
Yeah. Quick snack. Yeah.
Is it the greatest thing? No, but it's way better than it could be. Yeah. Like trying to hurry up and eat on the run.
Right.
So that's always been a staple up till now. Now I can't eat it. It hurts my stomach.
Yeah.
Like so it's like, okay, there were a few things like I could get by with, and now there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's like one extreme to the other. And I'm trying to find instead of black and white, my gray area, I guess.
And find the things that in a way you kind of enjoy, but also you can continuously eat. They're good for your body for the most part. Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, do I still eat a cookie or something like that here and there? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not 2 fucking rows of cookies.
No, like we could have like a package of those Pepperidge Farm cookies where there's like 8 or 10 cookies in the entire fucking container.
You and that'll last me 2 days.
Or a sitting.
Yeah, and now it lasts a couple of weeks sometimes. Yeah. Well, and so I've been buying like the like frozen fruit. It's like dipped in chocolate and stuff. I've seen it everywhere. I thought I'd try it.
Another TikTok thing.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was something else. But anyway, it looked good. I tried it. It's really good.
Yeah.
I'll eat one. I'm good.
Yeah. Just like a little bit of a sweetness to it.
Yeah. One little piece, which, I mean, I guess portion sizes is another thing that's thrown me for a fucking loop. And I guess just taking that, I mean, not to be dumb, but pivoting and being like, okay, so take everything I thought I knew or everything I had known up to this point about even my own body and throw that in the garbage.
Yeah.
The garbage.
Yeah, well, I mean, like we used to be able to order pizza back in the day, and I could demolish almost an entire pizza by myself and be like, all right, I think I'm full now.
Right.
Now, couple pieces, if that.
And we're all terrible about it. Yeah. Over ordering. We're all so bad about over ordering.
That's the other thing is like we're having to get more into the mindset of less is more.
Well, and we became so wasteful for so long too, because none of us really could wrap our heads around like we're not all eating the amount we were at one point in time. Like we're throwing away 75% of this or whatever. Like,
yeah. So, and Mom used to get so upset. Like she'd cook dinner or something like that. She's like,
that's it? That's all you're going to eat?
That's all you're going to eat. And I'm like, that's when I finally got to the point. I'm like, Mom, just stop cooking me dinner. There's no, like, you're not really eating. Elissa's not really eating. I'm not really eating. Like, there's no sense in it.
When I first had my surgery, and we've talked about this, but when I first had my surgery, you'd be like, you have to eat. You have to eat. It's been like 5 hours since the last time. And I'd look at you and say, I'm not hungry. And you'd be like, well, you have to. And I'm like, now you understand what that feeling's like. And you're like, yeah, I'm real sorry about that.
Yeah, but the one primary difference with that was you had to keep, so you could heal properly, you had to keep good proteins in your body, whether it be a shake or, something to put that into your body so you could feed your body. You had to have that for a period of time after your surgery. With this, it's very much you're not necessarily healing your body. You're actually, I don't want to say starving your body, but you're withdrawing.
I'm in a deficit.
Yeah. I mean, you're running a deficit while still needing to eat a good protein or, something to give you energy, a little bit of carbs, that kind of thing.
And I've noticed I've taken some things from my bariatric surgery days and then some things from my low carb days. And instead of being super crazy obsessive about it one way or the other. Yeah. I've noticed I'm taking little things that actually work for me now. So that's been helpful too.
Yeah.
So we're getting somewhere. I don't make it about the scale. I think I've been on the scale once when I started and I think one other time now.
Yeah.
And I'm going into a month and a half in. So, I haven't been obsessing about that, which is healthy for me too.
Yeah.
But I've lost weight.
Yeah. And I'm super proud of you for that. You're just kind of, in a way, you're just kind of rolling with it, if that makes sense.
Well, I'm just trying to realize my ADHD obsessive tendencies and try to mitigate them a little bit more. So
yeah, and I think maybe if it's something, and that's the one thing I do have to say that's positive about a med like this is you don't have to hyper focus on a program or a regimen or this or that. You can literally put it in the background and it's a maintenance drug.
Right.
Like it maintains what your body is supposed to be doing.
Right.
You know?
And obviously having this conversation does open me up for a lot of criticism, which I'm fine with. But here's my issue is I don't know if you remember this or not, but not long after I got sick with the lap band, and I had been starving. I mean, everybody who really knew me knew, like, I was starving and it wasn't my fault. Like, it wasn't something I was doing. It was very much something I had zero control over at that point in time, where I had lost a ton of weight. Well, then when I had the fluid taken out and I started healing and things started getting better and I did gain weight. Of course I was going to gain weight. I had been starving for almost damn near a year. I had multiple doctors that I work with come up to me and talk to me and be like, what happened? What happened? You've gained so much weight. And like, I feel like even though there is a cultural thing there, like I am nervous that I've opened myself back up to that by talking about it.
You know,
we were at your cardiologist appointment.
Yeah. And my doctor was,
and your cardiologist looked at me and said, so when are you going to get on the shot and lose weight?
Yeah. Which I think is just, I think generally speaking, it would come from a good place because they're concerned about health.
Yeah. And they were my coworkers. And
Right.
I don't disagree with that at all. But my other thing is by being open and honest, I feel like that made them comfortable enough to say those things to me. And those things really fucked with me.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I would say you have to remember is you've gotten to a place where you're comfortable enough to be open and honest with what's going on with you to not just me, but literally the world at this point in time. I mean, if you really think about it and, you know, fuck the critics, because at the end of the day, it's about what works for you. There's always going to be critics. There's going to be critics about, I mean, shit, the vehicles we drive or how much money do they make or what do they do?
I guess the point of me even bringing that up though is maybe I can make somebody else think, hey, before I say, oh, you've lost so much weight, like, maybe let's
watch how you say things.
Let's, you know, even though somebody's being open and honest about their journey, maybe let's not criticize every freaking move or comment every freaking time.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, from a fat girl to the world here.
I think it's just people having a little bit of wherewithal on and knowing their audience.
Yeah.
You know, that's really the big thing. Knowing their audience, having a little bit of respect. And I mean, even if you're going to make those comments, they can be made in a non-criticizing way.
Right. And I'm super easygoing. I mean, everybody who truly knows me knows, like, I feel like I'm one of the most easygoing people in the world. Like, I can roll with pretty much anything.
Oh, for sure.
But like for like those two things in particular, those two incidences to really stop me in my tracks and be like, wow.
Yeah.
The audacity was on clearance this year. I mean, that's pretty fucking terrible. I'm just saying.
Walmart blue light special, aisle 13.
Just for you.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was what I had to talk about.
So do you, after getting on the meds and your body kind of adjusting, and because it's definitely an adjustment period where you go through almost like a keto flu and like all kinds of, it fucking sucks for about 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean, how do you feel now? Do you feel a little bit more balanced?
Well, I feel like I'm not the best person to comment on that because this is going to be a TMI, but like I already have a real fucked up GI system.
Yeah.
And this med makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
So
it ping pongs one way or another. Right? Yeah.
So I feel like I'm not the best person to comment on like that part of things. But I can definitely tell you it blows my mind how much mental health is hinged on weight. Mm-hmm. And I know like that's specifically for me, and I feel like that's with a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to a crowd out there that, I mean, maybe they have the same issues and maybe they're scared to talk about it and maybe it's uncomfortable for them, but maybe hearing somebody else talk about it makes them get into a better
Right.
headspace with it and whatnot.
Well, and the other push was, and this is going to sound so dumb, but just hear me out. We have plans to go to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back one more time. I want to take my mom again. She's not been in years. She used to go every year. Oh, sorry. Used to go every year. Many, 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 many years ago when like the man child was like 4.
Mm-hmm.
I went to get on an amusement park ride and I got told that I had to get off because I was too fat in front of everybody. And you want to talk about that walk of shame?
Yeah.
That was the worst. And I was like, I will never live through that again. So I'm like, I got to lose weight. I want to go see Mickey, man.
Honestly, that happened to me too.
Did it really? Where at?
I was at the state fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fucking assholes.
Well, so I naturally have like a bigger chest and broad shoulders and whatnot. But when I was, close to 100 pounds heavier than what I am now, like I went to get on, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one where like you get suspended in this circular thing.
Oh, and it spins?
And it spins and it pendulums back and forth and goes upside down, completely vertical, and it swings back down. The floor drops out from underneath you. So they had where you jump in and it's like your crotch is, they have this big thing that's almost like a cup
the crotch,
built in. Yeah, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. And
so it was the crotch with the Daltons.
Right. And then you have this like chest piece that comes down over your head and it goes over your shoulders.
Right.
Normal, upside down ride kind of shit. Well, it had a 3-stage lock. So it would push in and lock, push in again and lock, and push in again and lock. Well, they couldn't get the last one to go. So I held up the ride for almost 4 minutes because in the process of them trying to push it to get it to lock, they then couldn't get it to release.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there stuck holding up the ride and they're like, you're too big. Like, we can't do this. We can't blah, 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 all this other stuff. Until finally, I literally told them, I said, get on both sides and just push as hard as you can against me. And it finally locked and engaged. And I was like, here, we're fine. And they finally started the ride and did all this other stuff. Now, here's the fucked up part. They couldn't get it to disengage. But when I was upside down and we were spinning in 0G,
oh, God.
It disengaged 2 locks. So I only had the first one holding me in. Yeah. And I'm like holding on and I'm like, you motherfucker.
That is the things that my nightmares are made out of.
Like, so it was embarrassing, but then it was also like, oh, final destination. Sweet. I'm fucked. This is awesome.
No, thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No. So anyway, just thought I'd share that little tidbit of knowledge.
Little nugget.
Little nugget of knowledge. Nugget knowledge.
So I'm a little sad this week.
Why?
We don't have the goat.
I fucking hate that goat.
I know
so
you
glad
do.
we don't have
I
that
love
goat.
that goat.
Oy.
Like, I'm excited. We've talked more about how we're going to transport it to Vegas.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Like, dead serious. We have not had this conversation.
Okay.
If you all, I'm dead serious.
Okay, I'm listening.
Get us kicked off a plane.
Nope, that ain't happening.
No, shut up. I'm talking.
God damn.
Get us kicked off a plane, kicked out of somewhere. I'm going to pretend like I don't fucking know you and I'm deaf. I swear to God. I'll go without you. Bye. Toodaloo, motherfucker.
Oh, no. Like, if we start getting caught with a goat or something like that, I'm just going to turn into somebody that has special needs. Like, literally. And I will live that out until we leave whatever place we're in. I'm serious.
Oh, my God.
I will have special needs. And it's not to make fun of anybody. It's literally to get somebody to go, all right, well.
Don't you already have special needs?
Yeah. I married you, remember?
Damn.
Hey, you wanted to shoot. I shot back.
Hey, just no fucking goat bullshit, okay? Just please don't.
We'll have fun with the goat. Actually, the best spot we could have the goat would probably be the driving experience.
Please don't piss me off with the goat is what I'm asking.
I'm not going to piss you off with the goat.
Yeah, you will.
No,
you already are,
no,
and we're
no,
just
no.
talking about it.
No.
Oh, I'm so angry already. Stop. Stop.
You know Jeremiah's going to listen to this and be like, yes, the goat.
Good. He can play with the goat all he wants in his own personal time. Jeez Louise.
So I don't think we talked about it. No, we haven't talked about this yet. So on the previous episode, when we were all hanging out and towards the end, we were talking about, hey, when we get back from Vegas, why don't we just pack up and we'll turn around and have a recovery trip down to Tennessee?
Oh, yeah.
Literally,
Woke up the next morning. It was already booked.
Yeah, so like the next morning, I'm up my normal old man time at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
I was up too with you.
No, you weren't. You were still laying in bed sleeping.
Oh, I thought I was up.
Because this all happened while you were asleep.
Oh.
So I'm up, I'm drinking my coffee, and I just so happened to pull up where we had stayed for our anniversary down in Tennessee at Douglas Lake like a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm. It was this past year.
Yeah. Okay. So it was last year. Yeah. That's right. It was around all the flooding and all the other stuff. Pulled up to stay, and it's this beautiful 3-story house, like, tons of space, very, very cool, very modern, very nice. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send it to the group, just almost as like a joke, but also like, hey, they do have this. It's available in our window where we're wanting to go. Kate texts back in the group that early in the morning. She's like, oh, that place is super nice. I was like, yeah, it really was.
And that's when you said, this is where we stayed.
Yeah, this is where we stayed, And I don't think anything of it. I'm like, okay, we'll let everybody wake up and, in the recovery stage the next morning or whatever. And, we'll just talk about more options, or I'll find more options on Airbnb or something like that. Not 10 minutes later, she texts back, we're booked. My response was literally like, holy fucking shit.
It's happening.
And I was like, okay. And we're pivoting and we're making this work.
And it's happening.
Yeah. And then in the group chat just kind of fucking exploded about an hour later. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're having a little recovery trip after Vegas back down to Tennessee.
I don't know how this happens.
It's our anniversary recovery trip.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So fancy.
So we're basically gonna red eye ourselves. We're gonna fly back on a Thursday and not get home until like 11 o'clock at night, right?
I'm already tired thinking about it.
And then get up at like 5 o'clock the next morning, pile the Millers in the car with us and all of our luggage and shit, and potentially have Mike and Kate meet us here at our house. And we're just going to, convoy down and, just have a grand old fucking time down in Tennessee for 3-4 days.
We're lucky.
Yeah,
we're very lucky.
Yeah.
So.
We are very lucky. We're lucky we have good friends. We're lucky that, we've gotten to a place in our lives where we can travel more and experience more and just kind of be more spontaneous.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
It's kind of cool.
Getting old's got a few perks, not many.
When it comes to building shit like a deck, no. It hurts a lot. The perk is it saves money.
It wore me out watching.
I know it did. I know you just had to take a nap. I know. It's okay.
I'm sleepiest girl in the world, man.
I know, and we're actually recording a little late. Like it's kind of late night tonight.
That's why I'm yawning. I do apologize for that.
I know. So,
but speaking of that, I feel like I put it all out there, left it all out there.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for throwing all that stuff out, and I think it relates really well with people. I think there's tons of people out there that have the same experiences, and they may not ever talk about it, but
I mean, food's an addiction. It really is.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's one of those. It's not like alcohol, where you could go your whole life without ever drinking again. Yeah. You have to eat. It fucking sucks, man. Well,
and interesting, like in my 20s, like I was pretty much a straight up alcoholic in my 20s.
Mm-hmm, that's what you said.
And I woke up one day and I don't know if my body changed, if my mind changed or what, but I just kind of stopped, and will I have a drink here and there? Sure. If we go out to dinner or whatnot, but I don't really hardly drink at all anymore.
Mine waxes and wanes, I've noticed. But I don't ever I feel like it's been a very long time where it's been like out of control.
Yeah.
I know when that did happen, that was before the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of looked at you and said, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
I try to be very honest with myself and you about those things. So,
yeah.
Anyway, guys, with that being said, I'm so glad that y'all came back.
Yeah, definitely all the new subscribers and the likes and the shares. And I feel like we're experiencing some really good organic growth right now, which is pretty cool.
And we do have newcomers that we're planning on coming on.
Yep. I
don't have a set in stone schedule, but it's happening.
Yeah. We're gonna try and get some more guests on because slowly but surely we're about a quarter of the way through the season at this point.
Is it really already?
Yeah, we're getting there.
It's crazy, ain't it?
I know.
But
we're just gonna keep moving along. We're gonna keep having fun and keep talking shit.
Yeah. Oh well. We're good at that.
We're gonna talk lots of shit.
Always. Lots of shit. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And with that, bye.
Bye.
We out.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Make sure to share and like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Adventures of E and on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@Adventures of E. See you next time.